Hello and welcome to Mindful's guide on how to set up your Exorsus Raid Tools. What is Exorsus Raid Tools? It's basically a very good add-on for a officer or a raid leader such as myself, but there's a few other modules that can be good for you as a raider, and we'll take a look at those right now. The first one is going to be the Blackrock Foundry boss mod for Chromog. And if you push that up, it lets me as a raid leader assign you to each rune, and if I hit send, it automatically sends to your add-on as well. And what's good with this is that everyone gets their assigned rune with an arrow that pops up whenever the runes are spawning. So we'll take a look on how this works and what you need in order to set it up to be good. If you go over to this arrow for Chromog and you click set position, you have an arrow that pops up for, I believe if you haven't set it up before, it pops up in the top of your screen, and you can drag it around to the position where you want it to be. You can also change the scale if you want to, and the transparency, I recommend putting it full, and just the scale that you prefer to have it, and put it in somewhere on your screen where you think it's easy to see and wherever it's good for your UI. It also has a yard counter for which I move away from it, displays where my rune is and how far I have until I reach it. So press that, assign the scale you want, drag it to wherever you want to position it, and click fixate, which disables moving so you can't accidentally remove it. And to remove it again, just click set position and it shall disappear. And if you ever need to reassign it, you just click set position again and drag it around. Let's also take a look at one of the modules that will be more useful for when we go into mythic raiding and some occasional rogue bosses as well. It's this note. It works exactly the same as angry assignments, if you know what that module is, or add-on rather. And I'll show you how to set this up to look good on your UI. First, I'll put up one of the notes from my last guild to show you a kind of basics of an example of how a note could look like. In order to set this up, of course, it will be all clean when you do this, and these notes will be my responsibility to make before we reach a single boss. And in order to enable this, you of course click the enable button, so yeah, you can actually receive these notes that I'm sending out. It would also be a good place you can drag this around, you can change how big you want it to be. Of course, it's no good if I make a massive note that you have this small, so drag it out. I like to have it on the left side of my screen because it doesn't obscure anything, but if you want it on any other side, that's perfectly fine as well. Just put it in a position where you think it'll be good, and hit the lock button so that the same as the arrow, that you won't mistakenly drag it around. Also making a click through if you happen to need to change on the tells or something, otherwise you just click on the note, which isn't very good. When you first come to this note section, you will have a black background on it, and if you want a background you can keep it with this background alpha, or just drag it down completely to 0, making it completely transparent, which is down to personal preference. I like it like this. I've seen some people use a little background like this, but it's all up to you. As well, this font with outline section, if you don't keep it crossed, it kind of blends into the environment a bit, so I like to keep it on to see it clearly, but personal preference. You can change the font size to whatever you want, make it big, small. I prefer to keep it around 12, I think that's very good. Of course, alpha if you want to transfer it, but I'd recommend full so you can see all the time. Scale as well, whatever you prefer. That's all you need to set up as a raider with Exorsus Raid Tools. If there's any questions, make sure to comment this video or give me a whisper in game and I'll help you set it out further.